Hey everyone, Catch 'em All Collectibles here. In today's video, I'm going to recap my hits and just a little bit of conversation around pull rates from 10,000 plus native booster packs, MetaZoo Native. I'm recording this the day that you'll see it, just I guess before I go to sleep, late after midnight. The set's been out for about a month now. I was super busy with Dallas Collecticon. As you can imagine, ripping 10,000 packs took some amount of time. Let's just get right into it. I'm going to show you the cards first. I really only tracked, I didn't track every holo, every reverse holo. I tracked the Native 19. So what the Native 19 is, 10 chase cards from the set, along with 9 fusion auras. I'm going to do my best to pronounce each one of these. They do have the phonetic spelling on them, but man, I will tell you, the native set names, the native card names, very, very difficult to pronounce. Jang, Piazza Bird, Atabe, Wendigo, Winnelegales, the Octena, Skookum, Utah War Twins, Heitlek, Sohanai, Rosenkorn, Fusion Aura, Fulgurite, Fusion Aura, Magma, Meteoric, Rainbow Quartz, Sacrificial Stone, Sylvan Mud, Unearthly Stratum, and Vados Fusion Aura. I will only have like the number. I will only have the number for each card on the spreadsheet, but this is kind of the order they'll go in, so you can visualize them, you can see them. But yeah, these are like the chase cards from the set. For anyone unfamiliar with MetaZoo, the pack contents are X amount of bronze, silvers, and then you get a holo slot. It's either going to be full holo, which is what this is. Reverse holo is where the not the background is hollow, but the actual item itself, the beastie itself, whatever it may be. The special thing about Native 19, they do not come in the reverse holo variety, nor do they come in the non-holo variety. Most other gold full holo cards have a non-holo variant, whereas none of the Native 19 do. So these cards are just harder to pull in general because they don't have multiple slots they can come from. But anyways, with that, we will go right to the pack data. It's a lot of numbers. If you're on mobile, it's probably going to be impossible. I didn't want to have to like scroll a bunch, so I do apologize that it's a little bit small. For the people who care about it, I mean, if you're on desktop, lean into your monitor. If you don't care about MetaZoo, if you don't care about this data, you're not here anyways. So yeah, we'll get through it. But it's a lot all at once. The green column all the way to the left, Jang is number 3, Piazza Bird is number 4. The fusion auras are between 40 and 48. So across the top in the various columns, you have basically case by case, product by product, what I opened. You can see the first one, release event decks, 1,256 packs. That was a few cases worth. All my release event decks. So for release day, all I had was 1,256 packs. I had only my release event decks. I believe 500 and there's 3 per. So whatever that math works out to. Maybe I didn't even open quite all of them. But anyways, release event decks and blisters, a theme deck case, and then finally my boosters came in. So yeah, 432 packs is how many are in a 12 booster box booster case. So that's why a lot of these numbers are that. But yeah, as you scroll down, case by case, I didn't go box by box. It would have taken way too long. I didn't track all the other holos. I only tracked what people care about most, the Native 19. So as you can see, that first night, I remember me and my wife opening the day before release. I told her we had to get a complete set. We had to get we didn't know even at that point. That's one thing I love about MetaZoo. We didn't know yet that it was the Native 19. We didn't know how many chase cards there were. But all I knew was I wanted to have a complete full holo set, and I wanted to know that I had all of whatever the chase cards were. So I had an interesting thing where like the day of release, I went through and I listed singles. Some of them I did not know were the Native 19 because there were some of them that I pulled like 7 of, the Fusion Auras I did know, that was a Fusion Aura. But there were like number 8 was Atabe, however you say it. I actually listed those quite cheap. I listed those quite cheap on eBay because I had pulled 9. I kind of pulled how many I pulled of a lot of the other full holos. So some of these cards I actually sold quite cheap. I do remember specifically, we completed the set at about 750 packs, and the final card that I pulled from it was the Piazza Bird. So 750 packs in is what it took us to complete a set. And if you do individually look over every column, so like this column here, column W, is actually 1,000 packs from spellbooks, 100 spellbooks worth of packs. In this 1,000 pack lot, I didn't pull a number 41, the Fulgurite Fusion Aura. I did not pull a number 12. Number 12 is the that one's not coming right to me. The Winnelegallus, that's the one. So in this 1,000 packs from these 100 spellbooks, I didn't pull a Wendigo. But my first 750 packs is what it took me to complete a set. You can see in the first 1,256 packs, I only had one of the number 22, which is the Heitlek, however you say it. So yeah, expectation, if you're like a consumer trying to buy the set, trying to build a deck, you can open a whole case of product, and there's no singular case that I opened. If you look through here, there's no singular case that gave me one of every native 19. And on average, if you look down at the bottom, what row 22 is, it is how many native 19 I hit for that set amount of packs. And then one of the most relevant rows, row 25, packs per N19. So in my release event decks that I opened, it took on average opening 17 packs to hit one native 19. And if you scroll across, you can see case by case. If you want to look at how many were pulled in the case, or if you want to look at how many packs on average to open one, kind of the same information, the same data, just shown different ways. But yeah, all the cases of booster boxes are here. I opened 15 of them in total. The worst case, I got 17 native 19. That one was pretty rough. Only one native 19 every 25 packs. And in the best case, it looks like I opened 28 native 19. So that was one every 15 packs. And what that all amounts out, what that all works out to, approximately just under two. I mean, one native 19 per 20 packs, 36 packs in a box. It works out to just under two native 19 per booster box. My sample size for booster boxes was pretty big. I mean, 15 cases is 180 boxes. And spellbooks, I opened, as you can see, if I scroll over, I opened 280 spellbooks. So pretty decent sample size there. 2,800 packs alone were from spellbooks. I don't know definitively if I can say my sample size was large enough. I mean, 10,000 packs sounds like a lot. At the end of the day, I mean, it's approximately 1% of the print run. Well, 1% of the print run is what I buy, and I only opened about only 40% of what I bought. So we're looking at 0.4% of the print run. So whether or not that's significant enough to make any broad statements, if I had to guess, at the end of the day, I would say that the pull rates are approximately similar for all these. I would say that the intended manufacturing design was for all of them to be equal. But yeah, my sample size for release event decks was decently sized, but blisters, it was literally one case. Theme decks, it was one case. Theme decks, it was 60 packs. So the fact that I opened a native 19 once every 12 packs for theme decks, I'm not saying go out and buy all the theme decks. There's only one pack that comes in the theme decks, and they're fairly expensive. On a price per pack, if you're only looking at the pack product, they're actually the most expensive product to get because you have a whole deck worth of cards, you have a promo, and then you just have that one booster pack. So yeah, anyways, if you want to pause, if you want to look through some of my hotter cases, I mean, the most valuable card in the set has been the Magma Fusion Aura. You can see quite a few cases that didn't have any. The biggest case that I had gotten. Sorry, it's been a week since Dallas Collecticon and my voice is still like not 100%. But the biggest case I had of booster boxes was only two. I mean, if you look amongst all of these cases that I opened, I think the biggest single native 19, like the biggest concentrated thing, was number 20. Number 20 is Skookum. One of the least valuable, one of the least, I don't think it's very playable. Collectors will need it to complete their set as it is a native 19. But yeah, I pulled 5 Skookum in one case, and that is the single highest amount of native 19 within one case. Yeah, just some interesting things that stand out to me. At the end of the day, as you can see over here, let me make this one a little bit bigger. Some of the fonts are small for whatever reason. So in 10,740 packs, I pulled 533 total native 19. And if you want to average out how many of each native 19 did I get on average, I got 28 of each. So I'm talking 28 Piazza Birds, 28 Wendigos. Not exactly. That's the average. I mean, if you look at what I actually got, I got 22 Piazza Birds. I said Wendigos, 26 of those. Magma Fusion Auras, I got 24 of those. But if you average it all out, again, I would say this isn't a big enough sample size. I would say that you wouldn't know for sure that this is what is going to extrapolate out across the entire print run. But if I had to guess, just looking at this data, if you went back to my spell book, the possessed fusion or the possessed aura, sorry, not possessed fusion aura, just the possessed aura was significantly harder to pull, and I believe that that one had a lower print run compared to the other Hateful Eight in Seance. Whereas in native, I can't say definitively, but I'm quite confident that the average of 28, the average of one native 19 per 20-ish packs, I would estimate that is all things being equally printed, equally distributed. I could be wrong, but yeah, given that the average was 28, I think my lowest, the one that I got the least of overall, was number 12, which is Winlegalis. And then the one that I got the most of looks to be number 48, which is the Vados Fusion Aura. So yeah, a range from 20 to 37 with an average of 28. That just feels like a regular statistical variation. I didn't do like any t-tests. I didn't do any confidence intervals. I didn't do anything crazy like that to try to get at it. But I put some numbers here. One thing I intended to cover was like the EV of a booster box. And I do have that number. I do have a number. It's under me right now. I'm going to scroll down and show it in a minute. But I went through very, very quickly, just off the top of my head. Prices have been changing quickly. As with any set, any TCG you look at, prices are usually very high out of the gate, and then they go down from there. That's just the way things go. In Pokemon, and I'm sure it's a thing in Magic, sometimes certain cards will come up and playability will be found, and different cards will spike. But generally speaking, out of the gate, prices just go down as players get their decks, as people get their collections put together, and more product gets opened. The single prices just go down. Some of these cards, I mean, I was selling Magma Fusion Auras. The first ones I sold, before I knew how playable it was, before I realized it was going to be playable for the Tower in June, I sold some Magma Fusion Auras for 100. And then they peaked at 300. I sold a couple copies at 300 a piece, and they're back down to about 180-ish, 170-ish on TCG Player and eBay. So for net, I put 150. Sylvan Mud Fusion Aura. That one is another one that sells in the 110 to 120 range. That's one of the higher selling ones as well. I put 100 net for that one. All the other Fusion Auras, I mean, I've sold quite a few copies above 100 for all of them. I sold a decent amount of copies, 70 to 80. I just put a net of $50. I put a net of $50. I was fairly conservative in the pricing. Piazza Bird, I put 120. Wendigo, I put 50. More popular species. Piazza Bird is fairly playable in Flame decks, I believe. And again, the Flame Tower in June. But Wendigo, as far as I understand, I don't believe it has any playability. I think it's just a desired kind of chase card, a popular cryptid. So all the other non-Wendigo Piazza Bird, I put 20 a piece for them. Fairly conservative. Out of the gate, I was selling some, as I mentioned, I sold some at $8 or $10 a piece before I realized they were native 19. Winlegalis and Atabe included. But then I was selling some at 40 to 50. And I think a lot of these are settling about $30 right now on TCG Player and eBay. As more product comes out, Native has had a thing where distribution, wholesale distributors have not yet gotten their product. As partners, most of the partners got their product about a month earlier than wholesale distribution. So it was kind of an interesting dynamic where I was one of the few people, maybe the only person, doing mass box breaks, mass 10,000 pack breaks to the extent that I did. And I mean, it definitely benefited me being half of the singles market by myself. But yeah, at the end of the day, if you take those numbers, you calculate that the average price, the average net price of a native 19 is approximately $49 as of today. Very roughly. I mean, a little while ago, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, it might have been 100. And then you do the math from 20 packs per native 19, you're getting on average 1.79 native 19 per box just off the native 19. I'm not talking bulk. I'm not talking reverse hollows, regular full hollows. Just off the native 19, the expected value of a booster box is $87.50. There was a short stint where I hadn't sold one of every native 19, but as of the highest prices, there might have been a day where booster boxes EVs off the native 19 alone was something like $250. And yeah, again, very interesting dynamic, probably not replicable, not something you can expect to happen every time. The supply chain issues where not everyone had the product at once definitely benefited from some on that. Where this is headed, though, I don't know for sure. It is an interesting dynamic how many of these cards are priced off of their playability. So one thing, if you're somebody speculating in these things, if you're someone who's wondering when to sell your Fusion Auras, look at the tower schedule. There is a slate of towers that are being held throughout the remainder of the year. Obviously, a shrewd player might go through and pick up all the late year ones today. If they wait until the month that the tower is going to be played, these things could be kind of scarce. If everyone's trying to get them at once, and you could see some price spikes around the upcoming towers as the schedule unfolds. But yeah, other than that, I think that's everything I wanted to cover in this video. I do want to get back to at least at a minimum. It's been a few months since I've done a MetaZoo video. I want to get back to at least once a month, do a Saturday MetaZoo video. I pretty much just got you like the raw data here. I hit you with a lot of raw data. I know it's a lot. I know it's like too much for one video probably. But what I want to do next in another video, I don't have any intent to break more native packs as of right now. Most of these, you can't see it on your screen, but I have it off the edge on mine. I still have quantity on every native 19, so I'm not sold out of anything yet. The closest card I am to selling out is the Magma Fusion Aura. I have 3 left. There are some of these that I have like 20 of my 30 that I pulled left. So some of these have not sold too much, but most of the Fusion Auras have sold pretty well. Most of the like the Wendigo, the Piazza Bird, a lot of them I have sub 10 left. So if and when I get to where I sell out, I'll reevaluate. I can use this column to adjust the net prices that they're selling for. I can look and see whether or not I like the EV. I can see whether or not it makes sense for me to open more. Obviously, I mean, I'm selling these boxes sealed right now at 140, 130 because of the distribution issues, because of the fact that there's just not a lot out there. It's actually been a really good product for me to just sell at 130 to 140 on eBay. I've sold 4 or 5 cases that way. Probably 4 cases, probably around 40, 50 boxes at nearly full retail. So it's been a very good product for me as just a business. It's been very plus EV to rip. It's been selling decently well, sealed. So yeah, in a future video, as I was kind of getting to, and then I went off on a tangent, I intend to take these numbers. I mentioned I opened 10,000 packs. I have another spreadsheet that I keep up on semi-regularly as every new set comes out. We know how many, 50,000 of each SKU. I bought nearly my max allocation. I bought about 500 of each SKU. I bought about 1% of the print run. I'm still missing about 100 boxes. I'm missing about nearly 10 cases. 10 cases of booster boxes I still have coming in someday. But I did the math quickly. I think I have about 25,000 packs worth of native. My whole purchase. It's not all in yet. I'm still missing 5,000-6,000 packs worth. But yeah, I've ripped about 40% of all the native packs I bought. If and when I sell out of a bunch of these native 19, if and when they're still selling well, if and when the EV is high enough, I might rip more. And if I do, I'll let you know. One thing I'm eyeing though, it's been quite a while since I have opened my Seance packs, and I'm out of all my Hateful Eight. I'm out of Possessed Auras. I'm out of all of them. Maybe Walking Sam, maybe a couple of them I have a handful. But I might rip like 50 to 100 more boxes of Seance. I need to run the numbers. I need to use my mass box break, and I need to see if it's profitable. But yeah, down the line, if and when I open more Seance, if and when I open more native, I will do like a recap video like this. And sometime in June probably, I will take this data. I will take the average of 28 of each of the N19, and I will try to estimate. I will try to tell you. I mean, quick quick back of the napkin math. If I bought 1% of the print run, let me just do it right here live, just to kind of tease it. If I bought 1% of the print run and it was 25,000 packs times 100, there's approximately 2.5 million packs out there. I guess the better way to do it, if I open 0.4%, because I opened 40% of what I bought, I'm trying to just, yeah, the average was 28. So you do 28 times 250, right? Theoretically, per my pull rates, per how much I got, per 0.4% of the print run being opened, and it yielding 28 average N19, that would be about 7,000. That would mean, my math could be wrong. Follow up for my video in June. There should be about 7,000 Jayangs, 7,000 Piazza Birds, 7,000 Magma Fusion Auras. If anyone thinks my math is way off there, let me know in the comments below. But I believe, I remember down at Dallas Collecticon talking and theorizing with a few people, somewhere between 5,000 and 10,000. That would be like a more confident interval. I'd be happy with saying somewhere between 5,000 and 10,000. But yeah, we'll dive deeper into it in an upcoming video. Let me know in the comments below if this was of interest to you. Let me know in the comments below if you enjoyed Native. I did not rip 10,000 packs myself. I will say that my wife and my sister were a big help. I probably opened 5,000 to 6,000 myself, and then a couple thousand each for my sister and my wife. I discovered that I can open 500 packs in an hour. I was not on average opening 500 packs in an hour for the duration of the 5,000 packs I opened, but theoretically, I could have opened all of those in one day, in one sitting. I mean, 5,000, 6,000 packs, that's 10, 12-hour day. I think I peaked at 2,500 in one day. So almost half of what I personally opened, I opened in one day. And I learned that was too much for me. I don't know how guys like PokeRev do it. I don't know how. I mean, my thumb was about to fall off. It was a blast though. I really enjoyed Native. I really am enjoying these mass box breaks. I think it's a lot more niche TCG. Oh, well, I know it's a lot more niche TCG, and I think in Pokemon it's just so much more competitive. Everything races to the bottom so much quicker. The margins just. I mean, people do it. People make it work. People make decent money doing it. But you got a little bit more time, and you have a fair bit less competition in MetaZoo. So I've found it beneficial, and I've found it fun, and I'm going to continue doing it. Native's experience will definitely, as long as, I mean, UFO, Seance, and Native. I've done it for 3 sets now. I intend to do it for War as well. So yeah, I'll be documenting all that via videos as I've done. I appreciate you all watching, and I will catch you all later.